So in this video I'll be showing you how to properly service your motor and everything. So this one will be about the Ongaro B21.04, and then in the next one I will do about the Adam Drake 83 OS speed. So what you first like to do is, or what I like to do is get a clean, you can use a microfiber cloth or a paper towel. What I'll be using is a paper towel. So I'll be changing the air filter, I'll be checking the clutch bearings and then putting after-on oil in the back. So I'll do after-on oil first. With the after-on oil, you can either put it through your carburetor, the back of the exhaust, or your back plate. I'll be doing it through the back plate because I find it's the easiest. Well, the exhaust is the easiest, but I find this is the best. So you'll take off the 4 screws on the back of the motor, as you can see there. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. With these motors, there's a special groove in the top that I'll show you, but you always need to have them, so you just twist this around until it starts to get compression, because you want the piston at the top end, the top stroke. So you just kind of wiggle this out. The reason why it needs to be on top stroke is because you've got a little groove there, and when the piston comes down, you've got that, and if you were to try to pull it out with that down, you'll damage the piston head and you'll damage this too. So that's why, and the reason why it looks like that is because there can be fuel in it, or because these motors have been sitting there for a while. That's after-on oil, but I'm gonna redo them. Just grab yourself another clean thing and just kind of give it a bit of a wipe. And look at all that gunk coming out. And you want to give your back plate a little bit of a wipe too. And the big thing that you want to do when you're servicing your motors is you want to make sure that around this is fairly clean. Like you can see over here how it's dirty, which needs to be cleaned, but as long as around this part is fairly clean, that's all good. Just because you don't want any dust or anything to get in the motor and possibly damage it or scratch it. And so with your after-on oil, what you want to do is you want to do a couple of drops into your bearing there. So you'll see like a little groove. You just go into there, just do a couple drops. I like to do that and then spin it around to the other side. You might have to hold it there, and then just add a couple more. That was a bit too much. And then wipe the top off if you're spilling it, and then I like to circulate it. You don't have to, but I reckon it's best off if you do, because it really gets it moved around. And then you also want to add a drop of after-on oil on there, just so in case is, just to make sure that's like protect. And then just if I had gloves on, I'd move it around, because I don't, my hands are dirty. So you just kind of get that around a bit, and then once again make sure this is on top stroke, and then just slide it in. Might be a bit hard getting it in, that's just because of there will be a bit of like resistance because of the compression. And then do these up. They don't need to be overly tight, but it's best off that you just get them snug with the drill if you're doing it, and then go over it with the hand tool, just so that we don't strip these, because it would be very hard to get them out. Take a 2mm driver, or your screwdriver, and just double check that they're tight. go. There's the after undone. Next up I'll do the clutch. So with these ones there's a 2.5mm driver in there, or you can use your 5.5mm. So you just undo that, and then you take the screw out and you pull the clutch bell off. Be careful because there will be a shim there that sits on there to space it out properly. There could be 1 or 2 spaces. On this one there's only 1. So you want to take your clutch bearings out, and then you don't have to do this every race day, but we like to, just to keep the motors nice. So there's those ones. There's your 2 clutch bearings, and then I'll use a bit. You can also use a bit of brake cleaner just to clean up the clutch a bit, to get it more cleaner. It's okay if it's a fairly dirty one. This is just to spray it on. And look at all that's coming off. Let that sit for a couple of seconds, and then as well as in here. I'll grab me a new paper towel, or if you're using a microfiber, you can just use the same one. Like, you look at all that was sitting on there. It may not be visible, but it's sitting on there. The main one's a clutch, about just getting that nice and clean. It doesn't have to be spotless with the brake cleaner because it will dry off. So just get most of it off, and then here's that done. Now we'll go ahead and check our spacer back on. You sometimes will have a spacer on the outer part too. You normally do, but because these ones, we kind of don't, wrong ones. But you don't really need the washer on top. Plus also, because we're running the this one is the 4 clutch, but on our other ones we run the 3 shoe, which just gives it a bit more response and a bit more of a kick. Well, it's a bit more gruntier. So just go ahead and take your screw. Let's do this back up. You can put Loctite on them, but we've never had one come off, so we don't really worry about it. You should put thing on it, but if you do it snug enough. And then for the air filter, it's a 2mm hex in there, which you just take out, pull this off, and then you can give that a bit of a clean. Then you change the air filter. Actually, I'll just use that quickly. That's the brake fluid. No, actually, I'll use a clean one for the filter. Take that. These ones are pre-oiled. You can buy just the plain air filters yourself and oil them yourself, but you get those ones in because you don't want too much oil on them like there. So what you do is just squeeze it out, because you don't want too much. You want enough oil there to stop not debris, but like all the dust and all that, but you don't want too much on there to the point where it's restricting the airflow. And that you're just going to get that roughly seated on there. And then you'll take this, you'll line it up and get it all nice. Take this. You don't want to strip this on here though, you have a chance of it, so just do it till it starts to twist, and then take your screwdriver and just double check it. So that's how you service a motor. Thank you for watching.